Welcome to Tamer Bowling Video Ball Reviews.
We need your support, so if you like what we do, please support us by joining our Patreon page.
Visit our partner pureatbowling.com and use the special code TAMER when making a purchase to be entered into a monthly drawing. I want to thank Limerick Bowl for their support. If you're in the area, don't forget to visit Limerick Bowl in Limerick, Pennsylvania.
Today we're testing the new Motiv Covert Tank. We're testing it on a 40-foot medium house shot and 35-foot Kegel Boardwalk pattern. First impressions, it came off the friction hard and I thought, still not reactive, not quite urethane, this just might be fun. For value, we gave it a B. Depending on the bowler, they may find my score too conservative or too generous. It offers something different. The question will always be, when does this type of ball reaction come into play? Overall, we gave the Covert Tank a B on house shot, B- on sport. Motiv looks like it's set out to create an option that fits into the what we call holy grail category, at least for high rev bowlers anyway. The control of urethane and the back end motion of reactive. Urethane's all about surface and digging in early. Then it just rolls or gently arcs to the pocket for 30 feet. Reactive is all about gliding through the oil. In other words, no motion in oil and then violently reacting to friction. Hammer's Purple, Pearl Urethane, Storm's Fever Pitch, they try to fit here. Now Motiv's claiming that covers neither urethane nor reactive, but clearly is an attempt to find that blended reaction. I won't make this too much of a technical discussion, but it's clear they have created something to effectively compete with the rest. I started more direct and it promptly went sideways to cross over, moved in a couple boards and there it was. Went a little bit deeper and I kind of got that soft flat corner, move in even deeper, creating some angle, and I was able to take out the corner. The big thing is the more oil it sees down lane, the less it responds, so you have to adjust your trajectory depending on the pattern. Ultimately, I really like the control for the first 30 feet of the lane while generating a bit more angularity and hit than traditional urethane. This helped with carry overall, and I have to say I enjoyed tossing the Covert Tank. What I really like is the ability to play pretty direct with speed and have the ball funnel through the pins. And the Covert Tank looked really good doing that as well as getting further in. For Bryan, he was immediately taken aback with how strong this ball was. He figured out where to line up and could see the ball walk to the pocket. It's still not reactive, but it sure as day did not look like typical urethane for Bryan. He considered the hit exceptional compared to urethane, and even the fever pitch we tested recently for him. As the line burned up, he was able to bump in, and surprisingly the ball kept going instead of puking like urethane might do. We aren't talking about moving whole arrows here, but the Covert Tank offered significantly noticeable room when compared to traditional urethane. For the sport shot, we tested on 35-foot Kegel Boardwalk pattern, and for my hand, this is the type of pattern the Covert Tank might come into play. I just have to finesse it a little and be careful I don't get too fast. It was playable, but a little trickier than I expected. I've used urethane to very good effect on this pattern. The more angular motion of the Covert Tank was somewhat of a detriment compared to the flat back ends of urethane for me. In the end, I felt like I just had to throw the Covert better, but it's still a decent option here. For Bryan, by now it shouldn't, but it again did surprise him with its strength. Whereas you can move the breakpoint in with traditional urethane on a shorter pattern, the Covert Tank just crossed over, showing off its back end. Nevertheless, Bryan could surprisingly use the ball without feeling like, no way I would ever do this in real life, as is the case with most urethane. Final thoughts, I actually think the Motiv Covert Tank is legitimately a good ball that truly does offer something unique. I love how it controls the fronts while not being completely dead down lane. It plays like a solid urethane through the front half of the lane and just a bit under a solid reactive down lane. Higher rev testers will probably make this ball look bigger. Medium and lower rev guys or gals may consider the Covert Tank as an alternative to probably what is a very niche urethane type motion for them.
อันนี้ตั้งแต่อยู่ตัวแต่มันเปิดเล็กบ้านรีวิว